The day after tomorrow, Dennis and I are flying to the Bahamas and we're getting married.
Oh, that's terrific! Oh, that's oh my God! Oh, I can't believe it! Oh, I am so happy! My daughter is marrying a doctor.
In the Bahamas.
Sophia, the things you say, she didn't mean that, Blanche.
Of course I mean it. Look at her. My cab driver would fall in love. Can I get something to eat, or is the fancy man in the kitchen?
The way she talks.
She can't help it.
So what? You did the same thing at McSorley's Bar Super Bowl weekend.
How do I look?
Oh, terrific!
I'll say, to the untrained eye, that polyester could almost pass for silk.
It is silk.
Oh, sure, Rose, and sure.
What am I doing up? I'm subbing for a teacher who was shot by a student. I need all the sleep I can get.
I used to sleep so well, I never even turned over. I'd wake up with a perfect hairdo. Charlie, on the other hand, moves.
Boy, he will not live to be a paper man. Florida is having a drought. In the entire state, there is not enough water to make a cup of tea. He finds a puddle. Come on now, Blanche. Are you telling me that you'd feel the same way about him if he didn't have a dime to his name?
Absolutely. I just have to see other men behind his back. Oh, come on.
Jokester, huh, Dorothy?
And speaking of joke, Stan, that is some toupee you've got. Oh, Rose, I'd like you to meet my ex-husband, Stan Zbornak.
Hello.
And this is his hair.
It's a pleasure to meet you both.
Oh, Rose, the singing group. He's the one in the middle. Used to be on the end till Lionel Richie left.
You and Jeffrey have been spending a lot of time together.
Oh, yes. You know, just when I'd given up hope of meeting someone, along came the most gallant, sophisticated, charming man I'd met in ages.
And I bet he knows how to tie a...
Guess it's time to turn in.
I guess.
You're not tired.
Not really.
Me neither. Do you feel like dancing?
Oh, I'd love to. I can be dressed and back in that ballroom in 10 minutes.
No, Rose.
What would Mrs. Claus say?
Not to mention Mrs. Kleckner.
Who was that? He's a Santa Claus.
You're kidding. I thought it was Fidel Castro. I meant, what was he doing here?
Blanche picked him up at the mall. Well, I can't help it. There's something about a man in a Santa Claus Fior Jr. He didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps. He thought scum was beneath him.
You know, I just realized the best reason of all to join this walkathon.
What's that, Ma?
I'd get away from this ditz for a whole day.
Help Blanche with the hors d'oeuvres.
What time's the birthday girl getting here?
I told Roberta to be here at 2 o'clock.
You think she suspects anything?
Please, the woman is 88. She still tries to find Gunsmoke on Sunday nights.
Dorothy, why don't you get the cake and we'll take all these things into the living room?
Dear, good idea.
Full of grief about Charlie, I forgot to be depressed about the empty nest. I never had that empty nest depression. I couldn't wait for my kids to get out on their own. I got depressed watching them grow older because it meant I was getting older. They were like noisy little calendars. Would you please bring them in here?
Sure, Mrs. Devereux.
Thank you.
Hi, Ma, where are you going?
Down to the boardwalk. I like to sit and watch the old guys rearrange themselves when they come out of the war. Where are you going?
I'm off to the rummage sale. Would you like a ride?
And I don't trust. I can't put my finger on it. I can. He's a lech. No, that isn't it. Oh, yes, it is, Rose. He made a pass at me. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, that's terrible. Dorothy, you'll be heartbroken.
Last year.
What did you do last year, Sophia?
What are you, deaf? She just told you. I try to juggle eggs.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
What's the matter, honey? Is something wrong?
I'm concerned about nuclear war.
The nitty-gritty, why don't you all tell me a little bit about yourself?
Fine. I'm a teacher. I'm divorced.
I'm a widow. No man would leave me unless he absolutely had to. I'm 41 years old. I'm 5'6". I weigh 108 pounds, and my hair is its natural hue.
Sure, Blanche, you're all right, but I warn you, it is very simple. Huh? What do you think?
I think you're my best friend, so let's change the subject.
I think it's beautiful. It's exactly what I would have picked.
That settles it. It goes back tomorrow.
David, I said, what in the world is going on here? I thought you were in bed.
I couldn't sleep, so I went out and got a pizza. Made a few friends, and we decided to have a party.
David, this is an inconvenience.
Exist.
Have you tried telling them how you feel?
They wouldn't listen.
I'm listening.
Yeah, only because they dump me on you and you feel you have to.
No.
But you don't have to.
David.
Just leave me alone.
Hi, Blanche.
Are we expecting company?
Yep, Barbara Thorndike. I introduced myself after the lecture. We went out and had coffee and talked for hours. Job, he gambles all the time. What kind of future does he have?
Future, please. He's 85. The man's got so little time, he only uses the 10 items or less line at the supermarket. Look who came to say hello, Rocco.
Hello, Dorothy. Always a pleasure. Now, listen, you are not the woman you used to be. I'd feel terrible if something happened to you.
At my age, I can't worry about that. This is special. I've made up my mind. I'm going.
Oh, then I'm wasting my breath. You're a grown woman. I can't tell you what to do.
I know. Now lend me $1,200 for the airfare.
Hello? Person to person from the Duke of Windsor to Queen Elizabeth?
Oh, that's for me. That's my Phil. Hello? The Queen's not here. She went shopping. Thanks for calling, Phil, and send my love to the Damn.
To the ball, and I'll throw you down the aisle. This is embarrassing. Now get back out there. I mean, let's face it, life is as interesting as you make it. And at Ma's age, it's harder to make the effort. I don't know, I guess I should be grateful that she's at least able to get out, even if it is just to buy a nectarine.
Well, girls, since it's raining, we could tackle some of those jobs around the house we always talk about.
I'll change that bulb and
That. Maybe I didn't show it. I'm not an affectionate person. But you are. Don't tell your sister and keep the silver.
Okay.
You know, I'll probably see your father in heaven. I haven't seen him in 30 years. I wish there was time to get my hair done. Time investment. A week from now, you're going to be kissing the ground I walk on.
Yeah, and you're going to be looking up at it from the other side.
Well, what happens a week from tonight?
Pepe, tell them.
Okay?
Pepe, boom, boom.
Kill Gonzalez!
Attaboy, Tiger. Hey, Pepe, why don't you do some
I'm just trying to help.
You want to help? Be quiet.
I'll be quiet. But just don't close your eyes, all right? Don't close your eyes.
Did you find them?
I don't know. I walked in and she wasn't there. There was someone else in her bed. It was weird.
Lillian. Oh, did you say Lillian? My God, you got a call about her this morning. I was so caught up in my breaths, I totally forgot.
It happens to all of us, Blanche. That's why my rent check was...
Hi.
Hello, Stan.
Come on in, I ordered up some refreshments. After all...
Well, Rose, isn't that sweet? And I do love you for it, honey, but I just couldn't. I could never fit this trim little body into that big old tent of a dress they're going to have to make for you. Fatigue.
And then what did he say?
He wants to match the heartbeats that this records to my activities. So for the next 24 hours, I have to write down everything I do.
And you're not embarrassed to have him read that smut?
I'm proud of you, Blanche. Boy, if this were me, I would be really scared.
When I'm scared,
I thought you lost it at a pancake breakfast.
well, those don't count. I mean, they did at the time, but this is the definitive where I lost my virginity story.
It's really nice of you to share something so personal with us, Blanche. In a bayou. You Mr. Big.
I know that guy. That's just a stage name.
Ma, I don't like this new crowd that you're hanging out with. Now, why are you with these people?
They're the in crowd. Look, the Senior Citizen Center is divided into 3 cliques. The hip group, the not-so-hip group, and the broken hip group. Which group would you want to be in?
Oh, Ma, when I was a kid, you always told me it wasn't important to be a member of a popular clique. You always said just be yourself.
Sure, typical teenage things. When we'd go to a drive-in movie, he'd hide me in the trunk so we only had to pay admission for one. And after the movie, he'd drive me home, let me out of the trunk and tell me all about it. But I was looking for someone more exciting.
Oh, Blanche, this is Dr. Jonathan Newman.
Get out of here. But Dorothy, he's
A little early, yes, but we're delighted to see him.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, Rose. You're looking lovely.
Dr. Jonathan Newman. Dr. Newman, this is my mother, Sophia.
Nice to meet you, Sophia.
Nice to meet you, too. I hope this doesn't sound rude. But I've just gotten back from a long trip and I'm very tired. If you'll excuse me.
Of course. Nice to have met you.
Likewise. Dorothy. Each generation improves upon it in some way. Like, for instance, it was my great-grandmother who added heat.
What did you add, Sophia?
A mouthful of wine.
Every year since I was married, I have slipped into my wedding dress and had my picture taken. George was always so proud of me for staying svelte, and I'm going to get into that dress this year, even if it kills me.
It's not you I'm worried about. The last time you went on a diet, you turned into that guy from Silence of the Lambs. You did everything but butter my face.
idea how to keep her entertained.
Honey, the important thing is to spend time with her. Why don't you do something that both of you enjoy? Why don't you take her to the movies, to the beach? Why don't you take her to the petting zoo?
A petting zoo? Dorothy, even I don't go to that club anymore.
The city requires a permit on any new home construction built within 5 feet of a standing structure used as a primary dwelling.
Rose, all this technical information, it doesn't sound like you.
And if Blanche doesn't get that permit, I think they could make her live in a shoe.
To the funeral parlor. Perks, he called them. That's the stock you come from.
I come from grave robbers?
Grave robber, entrepreneur, potato. He had a family to feed.
I hated that cow.
I think the thing that really turned her around was when I told her that when it comes to men, I'm just a lot of talk. Embellishment's one of the oldest traditions in the South. Tall tales and tall drinks. I don't really sleep around near as much as I say I do.
Is that true, Blanche?
Good morning.
Ah, how was your date last night?
Oh, it's too soon to tell. I'll let you know when I send him home. Is this for Rose's birthday?
Now look, don't you start with me. Every Christmas, every birthday, anytime we have to give a gift to the same person.
Get her a Ziggy card?
No,
Oh my, not Snoopy.
I didn't get her a card.
Dorothy, if you're really so worried about this, well, I'll just let Rose open yours first so you won't be embarrassed.
You know, your ego is so fragile. You have to turn everything into a...
Who's stupid now?
You are.
Yeah, stupid all the way to the bank.
You know what kills me? The year you locked me up at Shady Pines, she roamed around free.
That's 2 weeks. You ought to see a doctor.
Blanche is right. You should see a doctor.
It's just indigestion. And I'm a little tired from working hard.
Oh, come on, Rose, you're playing with your health here. You're crazy.
Oh, I'm crazy, am I? You think I'm crazy, do you? Well, I'll tell you something else. In St. Olaf, we don't believe in
Come on, but he knows how to fix a toilet.
It's fine with me. But the longer I let you do it yourself, the more I'm going to get paid when you finally call.
Yeah, well, I have news for you, Lou. We are not calling, ever.
You ladies haven't seen the last of me. And you want to know why? Because as we say in the plumbing game, it's net...
This is the hardest thing I've ever tried to say to anybody.
You can't marry me.
Not now. Not yet. Listen, why don't you call up the kids and tell them they're spending tonight with their daddy? And then, after a while, if you...
Tomorrow, I am going to a scalper, and I'm going to buy 4 tickets.
You better make that 3. My final exam is that night.
Oh, honey, it's too bad.
Oh, well, what difference does it make? My social life's gone down the drain anyway. All I ever do is study. You know, it cannot be good for you. It's unnatural. It's unhealthy. It's unlikely.
Oh, sorry, darling. I didn't mean to wake you.
Well, that's all right. I waited up for you.
I'm glad you did. I've been working on a noose. Folks say I should settle down and make an honest living. But I just want to sing my songs. I got a lot to give 'em. Give 'em.
You know about a good time.
Oh, Mrs. Barton, what can I do for
I
you?
want to see the witch.
Leonard! Don't call her a witch. You'll get another boil on your butt.
Tell the world, Gladys.
Menopause was wonderful for me. It meant no more PMS.
I never had PMS.
Neither did I. But I had a BMW. A red one. Charlie bought it for me.
PMS! Premenstrual syndrome, Rose. You mean you never got crazy once?
Thank you so much for coming. A man as brilliant as you must be terribly busy.
That change your life didn't change her life.
Well, it's no mystery. The minks won't breed because they're too old.
You're kidding.
Isn't he brilliant?
Somebody sold you minks that are too old to breed. They're worn out. They're not interested.
Oh, my God, he's just the sexiest man in television. And Burt Reynolds is the sexiest man in the movies. Oh, I cannot believe this. All that manliness in one room, in one crowded room, one hot, crowded room. Everybody's steamy bodies all pressed up against each other.
Blanche. Relax, you're about to set off the smoke detector.
We got the message, we got the flowers.
Come on, Ma.
Well, I also told her that Rose and I are getting out of the sandwich game.
Well, when we went over the books, the profits weren't quite what we expected.
Tell me, is Blanche back yet?
Oh, she's in the living room.
Thanks. We're interested in arranging a funeral.
Isn't that lovely? The 3 of you planning ahead for Mother.
Hey, Pfeiffer, how would you like a punch in your face?
on now, I heard you laughing. What's so funny?
For starters, Gina's a lesbian.
What's funny about that?
You aren't surprised?
Of course not. I mean, I've never known any personally, but isn't Danny Thomas one?
I'm quite fond of you.
I'm fond of you, too.
Up at the animal shelter. Come on in, guys. Come on, Mr. Thurber, I don't believe I quite understand your problem.
Well, then I guess I don't have a problem.
Mr. Thurber, this is a crisis center. I'm a trained counselor.
To share an old-fashioned Christmas with some other people.
At gunpoint?
Would you stay here and spend Christmas with me if I just asked you?
No.
Well, but why would you want to spend Christmas with a bunch of total strangers?
I am chilled to the bone. I've never seen it be this cold in Miami.
You know, I think that storm is getting worse.
I disagree. I think the storm was at its worst.
Betray her own sister. We have a big fight, she denies everything, and we never speak again.
But Sophia, honey, that was 30 years ago. Isn't it time to forgive and forget?
Forget I do plenty, I never forgive. But Angela's your sister. If she wants to talk to me, she knows where to find
Stay
me.
and talk to Stan. I'm sure you can get somebody.
Dorothy, I must confess I have mixed feelings about calling anybody. There's something strangely provocative about this evening. Oh, of course, I would never have a relationship with both twins at the same time. That would be obscene. Unless, of course, it was tastefully done.
Stan, what was...
Asked who fits into the costume.
Dorothy, maybe we better run the lines.
Oh, isn't he the greatest?
Yeah, the great ones always throw in a back rub.
What?
Have either of you seen Patrick?
Yes, he's off rehearsing lines.
What do you want him for?
I want to give him this.
Oh, I'll give it to him.
Yes.
You, sir, are a dirtbag. Oh, I'm sorry. It must be the heat.
What are you two doing? Can't you see Patrick is in the middle of an exquisite performance?
You have no idea just how many performances he has been
Long trip. I remember one time Daddy took the whole family cross state on our tractor to visit great-grandfather Zigbarton. Great-grandpa Ziggy was a famous inventor. He developed the first, and to my knowledge, the only low-voltage meter that could detect what kind of a center a piece of candy had.
The only reason I gave it to you is to hide that wart.
Oh, my God, it can't be. It is! Come, Bessie!
And Angela, that chicken that you cooked the other night, didn't you say you got... But I knew, and it made me feel better about myself.
Well, you were one of the lucky ones. It doesn't always work out that well. It sure didn't for Olga Fetchik.
Just a minute, Rose. Somebody give me a hand signal when she's finished.
Olga Fetchik.
Blanche, has anyone seen today's paper?
Oh, I think Sophia left it Al Milanaro. Oh, just in time. Rose, would you fetch the paper?
Okie dokie.
Seems like you've gotten more comfortable giving Rose things to do.
Oh, well, deep down it still saddens me, but I think psychologically it's very important to Rose. I'm just careful. The last few weeks with Jake have been wonderful, but oh, there's some things about him I cannot get used to.
Really? Like what?
Well, it's a question of breeding. He uses his fingers instead of his knife to push his food. He tucks his napkin into his collar. He wears white after Labor Day.
Blanche, the man is a winner. Between Kate and Dennis.
I said it. I used it in the story. What do you want me to do, embroider it on your underwear? Just stay out of it.
I don't know if I can do that.
then you're gonna lose Kate. And someday Stan will be the one to call you up and tell you you have a grandchild who you're never gonna see.
Well, what did I ask you?
For God's sakes, he wants to ask you to go out with him. You got your listening equipment, I got mine. Good night.
Don't prolong this. I know what car you drive.
The parade's over! Let's hear it for all the birthday boys and girls! But the fun's just about to begin, because now it's time for...
How on earth did you know that, Sophia? Wild guess.
Now, mine was Larry Raganetti. Oh, how I loved him. He was gorgeous. He left me for Cookie Kelly. She kissed with her mouth open.
Well, why didn't you kiss with your mouth open, Dorothy?
Fight.
No, I saw it. I was here.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any problem now.
I thought you said this was a cold drink. It's lukewarm.
I told him no ice.
You dumb bunch of galoot. What do you think makes it cold?
Your attitude is making me cold, woman, so lighten up and say thank you.
No.
It was a nice couple of months. I'll miss him. Think he'll remember me?
I don't know.
I'll remember him. I finished the scarf, you know.
Oh, great. Listen, next time we go...
And I want you to know that poor, sick, helpless pig in there appreciates what you're doing, too. I'm gonna look in on baby. You're the best friends I've ever had in my life.
I feel terrible.
I feel miserable.
Let's go shopping.
And a hint of turbulence.
This is Captain Lloyd again. Looks like we're running right into the eye teeth of a big tropical storm.
I'm a dead woman.
Fortunately, that means we're going to have to turn around and return to Miami. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
Did you hear that, girls? We're saved.
My turn to cook dinner. What does everybody want?
Nothing for me, thanks. I'm not hungry.
Oh, now, honey, don't let this get to you. It's something you can't do anything about.
I've always believed you can fix a problem, no matter how big it is, if you just put your mind to it.
How are you going to fix this nuclear war thing? By writing a letter to President Reagan?
Well, now, that would be pretty stupid.
Really want to put this on a childish level of name-calling?
Yes.
So do I.
Traitor.
Tramp.
Backstabber.
Homewrecker.
Indian giver. I'm sorry, I just got caught up in the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention.
Dorothy, what the hell are you doing with my brother?
Calm down, Stanley. It's just a routine search.
I can't believe that you're so desperate that you'd stoop to this.
You can't talk to me that...
In a marriage, George would dress up as a ghost and chase me around the house with one of those little fly swatters, and then when he caught me...
But Blanche, I'm talking about arranged marriages, not deranged.
Sorry.
Oh, that must be Sven.
On the stage for 5 hours talking about God and eating graham crackers. They wore masks to cover their faces, but other than that, they were totally naked.
And you stayed through the whole evening?
Well, I would have left, but one of the actors looked so familiar to me. Yes. Murray Gutman?
Oh, maybe we can get him to turn his jacket inside out. I'm sure the lining isn't as loud.
His tuxedo has nothing to do with it.
I don't understand.
He can't come to the club.
Why not?
Gutman.
What are you talking about?
Gutman. He's Jewish, isn't he?
Of course, there's some things I don't understand, like poverty. And the spokesmodel category on Star Search. But then again, you work your wonders in mysterious ways. A couple of years ago, on a night like this, I would have frozen to death because I was by myself.
Sweet Jesus, am I in trouble? Now I lay me down to sleep.
Listen, Newman, he's a psychiatrist at the Grief Center.
So, you're seeing a psychiatrist.
It's about time.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jonathan Newman.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, may I come in?
Oh, please, please. That's a good bell.
Get the door.
Shrimp? Sophia, isn't there anything we can do to convince you to stay?
Twice.
Oh, I see your point. Well, what about this? Miami is nice, so I'll say it thrice.
Right, who the hell says thrice?
It's a word.
So is interuterine.
Accentuates the many folds of that turkey-like neck.
Well, that may be, but the pearls draw attention to the non-existent bosom.
Only thing I recognized in there was studs. This isn't gonna work.
Beh, no.
Listen, it's impossibile.
Sì, è impossibile. Ho capito. Ma sai che cosa voglio fare? Voglio portare io una squadra di uomini per lavorare qui a spese mie,
Vincenzo has to sail around the world. That'll be the day. Like there's a line waiting around the block. We'll have to install one of those ticket machines like they have at the bakery. Around the world, yeah, I get the picture.
I'm afraid I'm responsible for making Al do something he...
I'm sorry, Rose. I'm sorry. I forgot it was a full moon.
Are Michael and Lorraine here yet, Dorothy?
No, but they should be any minute.
You seem a little nervous.
Oh, I am.
Are you nervous because you haven't met Michael's funeral? Oh, Dorothy's upset about Michael and Lorraine.
Really?
Oh, Blanche, how would you feel if your son were marrying an older woman?
Dorothy, when my son was 5 years old, he nearly burned down our whole town. Since then, nothing he does upsets me. Hell, he could marry Lillian Gish and I wouldn't care. Oh, Sophia, did they deliver my new bed?
Yeah, and they were here all day setting it up.
All day for that simple little bed?
Simple. I haven't seen so much brass since the brass knuckle at RV show at the Palermo Hilton.
I don't believe it, they delivered the wrong bed.
Blanche, do you think...
Not now.
What's the proper way for a lady to make an entrance on the arm of a handsome gentleman?
You look just wonderful, Mama. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, is today Mother's Day?
Why, yes, ma'am.
Which mostly meant trying to get my Salvador into a shirt with sleeves. Turn that thing off and get up from the couch. Mama will be here any minute, and you look like a bum.
So what's the problem? She already thinks I'm a bum.
Salvador,
Yeah.
did you get me a present for Mother's Day? All right. Take 5. Even the seagulls stopped listening.
The rain kept our fans away.
Baloney. Every week we've been collecting what, $20, $30 for the clinic? The last couple of weeks we're lucky if we break 10. And you know why? We're losing our edge. The excitement is gone. We're not driven like we used to be.
Pigpen had just turned 80, and the town bylaws made him leave his job teaching driver's training at the high school.
On at 80, it was about time.
Well, it had nothing to do with his age. There was an old law on the books about driving with your shirt off.
I once got arrested for that in Chattanooga.
Ma, well, all she saw was the woman she loved growing old and wrinkled in a wheelchair.
Just goes to show how different one generation can be from another.
Absolutely.
I'll see. Well, what y'all want to do now?
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten your seatbelt sign is now off. If anyone knows how to fix it, please report to the flight attendant.
I don't get it. Why did we get off that lovely jetliner in Minneapolis and switch to this rickety old thing?
Because the jets are too big to land at St. Gustav.
St. Gustav? I thought we were flying to St. Olaf.
Well, St. Olaf doesn't have an airport. No, the only way you can get to St. Olaf is to fly to St. Gustav and then take land transportation to St. Olaf.
Love you so much, and we wanted you to win so bad that we fudged some of the things on your biography.
Fudged? Fudge makes it sound cute, you lie.
We embellished, Rose. Oh, Rose, you do good things. I mean, you are the kindest, most decent human being we know. Where's Ma?
Down here, paralyzed. What?
Sophia! Honey! Oh, dear.
Ma, I insist on taking you back to the hospital.
I don't want to.
Wants to know if you'd mind if this little boy goes ahead of you.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, no. You need to see a doctor just as much as me. I'll wait my turn.
No, kid. It's your turn. I don't need to see a doctor. You were right, Dorothy. I was faking.
Sophia, I'm shocked.
Go forget about it.
I can't forget. This man stole money from us. Because of him, our family went hungry.
Ma, we never went hungry.
Some nights I felt like dessert.
Sophia, I kept a secret for 40 years because I didn't want to break your heart. But now that I know it's made of...
Well, what do you think?
Ma, this is a rundown old concession stand.
You can't live here.
We're not living here. We leased it.
It took every dime we had.
Talk and we slept together tonight.
It's just two little words, but they are the hottest two little words in all the whole world for me to say.
Not tonight.
No.
I guess that's why I feel so insecure about being a wife. I want to be a good wife.
You're really crazy about the guy.
Head over heels in love. I feel like a teenager. He's smart, he's funny, and the best lover I've ever had.
You haven't slept around much.
A blind man, you're certainly observant.
Have a seat.
Thank you. Your secretary told me you were meeting somebody here, so I won't keep you, John. I just thought we ought to talk.
Blanche, if you've come to apologize for last night, I understand.
Well, I'm not sure you do, John. I like you very much.
Tell us. Is it about Ernie?
He's lousy in bed. I knew it. I knew there was something wrong with him.
No, he's not lousy. Well, I don't think he is.
Well, either he is or he isn't.
Well, I'm sure he's not. Of course, I have no proof that he's not, but still he's not.
3!
Excuse me, ladies, but we always dress for dinner here. And in your case, we'd appreciate it if you do that for all 3 meals.
What happened?
He's filling in for Willard Scott on the Today Show. It seems Willard ate some bad scallops on the air that he got through the mail. He wandered over to the critics' corner and lost his cookies on Gene's shelf. Gene thought it was because Willard...
Cry or commit you.
You just leave it to me. I know in my heart he'll be here.
Rose, just so I get this straight, you never actually met Bob Hope.
No, but I'm sure looking forward to it.
Yeah! Hope is not your father. He has no idea who you are, and he's not about to come anywhere near this place.
That's not true. He's here in Miami. It's right in today's paper.
Well, she's right. He is in a golf tournament here.
Apology accepted.
Rose, what the hell?
I mean, the show is tomorrow night. He wouldn't leave before that. He knows how much I'm depending on him. Oh, there must be some other explanation. Maybe I'm just a foolish old woman who's lived a silly fantasy her whole life.
Oh, honey. Oh, being this close to you is the biggest thrill of my life.
If you were any closer, there wouldn't be room for my car keys.
Mr. Hope, could we impose upon you to entertain for a few minutes?
Will I entertain? I didn't put this makeup on to go bowling.
Always erect the night before any welterweight Division B matchup at the local arena. Of course, I'm worried about... Ma, how could you do this? How could you gamble with our money?
Let me tell you a story, Dorothy. Picture it.
Prejudiced that we actually felt that way?
You bought into it, didn't you? Hey, I didn't invent Kid Pepe. I just conformed to your image of a simple-minded Hispanic fighter. Well, I am a Cuban. But hath not a Cuban eyes? Hath not a Cuban hands, organs, dimensions, senses of... Do we not die?
Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! That was the finest audition for the acting school that we've seen all week. Congratulations.
I'm so glad Pepe has the opportunity to be an actor.
Why? When was the last time... Come on, give us a hug.
Oh, Trudy, it's so good to see you again. Honey, I want you to meet my roommates, Rose and Blanche.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, Dorothy's told us so much about you.
All good, I hope.
Well, actually...
Sit. The most energetic, alive person I ever knew.
At the center, Dorothy, we teach acceptance. In life, there are some things that are inevitable, and you just have to accept them.
She is right, Dorothy. I know because I've been there myself.
You killed your best friend too, Blanche? Sorry, Dorothy.
I remember I was a...
Dorothy, what the hell is going on here?
Revenge! It suddenly occurred to me, what if this was the ultimate practical joke? So I dragged it out of Jack, and the two of us cooked up this topper.
Oh, Jack, I can't believe you went along with this.
So I got in bed with Dorothy. It was a joke.
Same old Rose.
Same old Rose.
Oh, anyway, he was a great entertainer. We thought for a while he was a great little dancer, too, till we discovered he had two left wings. He just shuffled along there. Oh, how he loved music, especially Gilbert and Sullivan.
It's a little surprise. We're not visiting Lillian as much as we're breaking her out.
What? We can't do that. I mean, that's wrong. What if we get caught?
Lillian is a great friend. Will you do it, please?
Well, okay.
Good. I'll keep the staff busy. You get Lillian. Take care of her.
Ma!
I already take care of you three, so I'll do a little more cleaning, a little more cooking, and make up one more bed in the morning.
Sophia, you don't make my bed.
I know. It's impossible to put a fitted sheet around a big, hairy guy named Ed.
Hello, everyone. Isn't it a lovely place? I don't know this place.
Lillian, it's okay.
And I don't know you.
Lillian, I'm Dorothy, and this is Sophia. We're your friends. We brought you here from the home last night. Oh, Ma, that's disgusting.
Dorothea, I am so sorry we put you through all this. You would have made a wonderful daughter. But then you already have for your mother.
Sophia. Arrivederci.
Trip back home. Stanley, if you're doing what I think you're doing, you're in big trouble.
I was just remembering the first time you ever kicked me out of bed and I had to sleep on the floor.
Emil's hidden honeymoon hideaway in the Poconos. With me.
Rose, why her?
She's comforting.
And I'm not?
You told me you were having a pedicure when your husband was dying.
Well, of course I was, Sophia. It was the third Thursday of the month. If I'd canceled, that would have been it for July and August when I'd be wearing open-toed sandals.
Give you swollen glands, sore throat, and all the other symptoms. Now, there are certain blood tests which we'll do, and if those results are abnormal, that combined with the exclusion of the other diseases will compose a profile that actually thousands of people fit.
So I really have something real.
I would say you most certainly do. But we should have our answers in a couple of weeks.
Are you all right?
I feel better than I have felt in a long time.
Oh.
To my friends, who made being sick a little easier because they cared. You refuse to see your daughter as an adult with the right to make her own decisions. Honey, you're going to have to learn to let go.
Yes, and the more you try to make her see things the way you see things, the more she'll resist. And then you run the risk of never seeing her again. And never seeing your grandchild. Never. There, I knew you could do it.
Oh, I've just been so dumb about this whole thing. Should have respected what you wanted to do.
You really mean that?
Yes, I do. Let me drive you to the airport, and we'll think up baby names on the way.
Great. I'll go get rid of the cab.
Oh, come on, tell me how big a disaster was last night.
It wasn't a disaster, Blanche. It was just uncomfortable. You know, I tried to find some common ground, something I could talk to Ken's circus friends about. But it turns out the human cannonball doesn't do that much reading.
I can carry a book. It's a free country. Even the Statue of Liberty carries a book.
You were driving again.
Who says?
This phone book is still warm. You were sitting on it so you could see over the steering wheel.
You know me, safety first.
You stole my car?
Only
Him too. I looked up to him. I tried to be just like him. But I couldn't. I couldn't be him then, and I can't be him now. You were in love with the memory I brought back to you.
Well, I certainly am not. I am well in touch with my feelings, and I certainly know my own mind, George. Now, you've just been talking
Why not?
Catherine threw me out.
Your wife threw you out? I had no idea she was that bright. What happened?
Catherine accused me of infidelity.
Oh, damn it, Stan. This makes those infidelities during our marriage seem much less special.
I cannot believe her father could be so mean.
Not half as mean as his dog, Samson. Did I ever tell you what that dog did to my friend Ida Silverman?
No, what?
He ate her. Gobbled her up without a trace, support hose and all.
Well, Ida's daughter told me she moved to Fort Lauderdale.
It's your eyesight. Then people are telling you to turn down the TV set when you can barely hear it. And you could live with that. But this, they're trying to take something from me that I just won't give. I can't let this happen, Dorothy. I can't lose my Sal. Not again.
Am I missing something?
Proves what? Dallas diamond earrings? George was obviously feeling guilty about cheating on me with David's mother. David was telling the truth.
This is tough, Blanche. I know how you feel. I hate to say it, but Sal almost cheated on me once.
Strudel was our little pet name for sex.
Wow, you were mad.
You bet. But I decided one mistake shouldn't erase the memories of all the good times or how much we loved each other. Don't throw George's memory away.
Rose, what were you doing out so early this morning?
Well, I couldn't sleep, so I went for a spin last night to Alabama. Blanche, do you know at a truck stop in Tuscaloosa they have an egg dish named after you?
Really? How are they prepared?
Over easy.
Oh, I need to know. Oh, now look, if you need a little bit more time, why don't I go to Europe, do what I have to do, and then I'll come back for you?
That's exactly what you told me 40 years ago. You never came back.
Yeah, but you got married. I figure we both made mistakes. We're even.
I don't think I made a mistake.
Sure.
Hold it. In the meantime, who's going to keep the money? I don't know you well enough to trust you. And her I know. So we got a problem.
Now, this is off the top of my head stuff, but maybe we're too close to the problem. Maybe we should ask somebody who doesn't have a stake in this, and maybe they could find a solution. Dumb idea?
That's worth it.
Oh, come on, Ma. Claude Hughes is the dullest, ugliest man I know.
So what's the problem?
He didn't want to go. Ma, now that you've finished.
Those balloons dropped from the ceiling.
You had balloons in the church?
Well, it's not as if we filled them with air. We learned our lesson. I mean, you put air in them and the St. Olaf Boys Choir used them to make those disgusting noises.
Go on with your story, darling. I care deeply.
Well, after the...
It states. Then he should know better.
This is...
Blanche Devereaux, it's a real pleasure, Mr. President. My, you do have a lot of Secret Service men, don't you?
Hi, Blanche.
Hi, fellas.
Thank you, Mrs. Devereaux. And, Mr. President, this is Dorothy Zbornak.
Be proud of Dorothy for something. But I'm not going to kill myself if that day never comes.
But my parents called me Twinkle Toes.
I call Dorothy Bigfoot. That doesn't mean she has to make tracks all over the Northwest.
What Ma is trying to say is that she loves me for what I am.
That's right.
Resuscitating equipment.
In other words, Rose, hang up the skates.
Oh, Sophia. Bigfoot, thank you. I mean, you're terrific. You made me realize you don't have to please.
Thought by appearing out of nowhere would have been more than you could handle.
Well, shouldn't it be up to me to decide what I can and can't handle?
No, Rose. Not up to me either. It's up to the man who brought us together today.
The intern in the paper shoes?
No, Rose. The Lord Almighty. Oh.
Oh, you're up.
Rose?
I'm sorry, Blanche. I've given you some really bad advice here. Look, Stanley, if you're here to beg me again to go to that reception, forget it.
Hey, Stanley Zbornak does not beg, okay? I'm a man. I have my self-respect.
Right. It's not easy living with yourself when you haven't stood up for what you believe in. I know. I backed down myself today.
I guess I have to go and talk to him.
You'll feel better.
I'll go. Thank you, Blanche. All of you.
Oh, Blanche, you did a pretty good job focusing this for Rose and for me.
Hello. I'm a Baptist.
Sister, is it all right if I sit?
No autographs.
No problem. This is true. I'm rooting for Sonny. You know, the paisan. Besides, there's something about this guy that just hunks me off.
So, Dorothy, can I see you later tonight?
Oh, I'm sorry, Lila.
Sure, as soon as she comes to me on her knees and begs my forgiveness.
I think she'd like that. All right. The little witch is ready to apologize for everything.
She said that?
In her own old world way, yes. Come on.
You're starting to get on my nerves.
Good, because you're already on mine. I don't like the way you're treating Blanche. Under all that makeup and sexy talk, there's a little girl there, and for some reason or other, she's letting you take advantage of her. I can't stop her from seeing you, but I'll be damned if I'm going to hurry her up.
Who do you think you are?
A friend.
This is none of your business. Just butt out.
What did you say?
I said no.
I guess we're paying full price for the cocktail, Franks.
Good news. Clayton and Doug said they'd love to go to the banquet with us.
What? Oh, are you out of what is left of your mind? Why did you invite them? Besides, it's always next year.
Well, I've made a decision. I'm going to throw myself into charity. I'm going to spend all my free time making other people's lives better. I lost sight of the real goal. It isn't about fancy banquets. It isn't about getting your name in...
My God, I've left brain cells all over the eastern seaboard.
Where's Ma?
Who?
Ma, where's Ma?
In the cemetery in St. Olaf. Why do you want to know?
Because I thought we'd all go out and...
Unnatural in St. Olaf. We not only took care of our old people, we revered them, honored them, put them on a pedestal. Of course, that's how we got to be the broken hip capital of the Midwest.
That's a beautiful story, Rose. Lanai, you know, you should really keep that gate closed. Anybody could get in here.
It's great, I can finally see again.
Hey, it's the cheese man.
Come on, get in here, both of you.
Sophia, you recognize Carl as the cheese man?
You don't? The man's been on America's Most Wanted.
All those other appetites you satisfy before going to the fridge.
My life is more than just sex and food. I take care of this house. Like just the other day, we had a leak and the gas man came out. Oh, no, wait a minute. I guess that falls under sex.
And you did fix him a...
We certainly are in the right place for it. The kitchen, Crisis Central.
Yeah, we sure have solved a lot of problems in this room. I mean, a lot. Dorothy, it wasn't that long ago that you...
Oh, it's you. I thought maybe Sophia had come home.
Oh, no, she'll be back in the morning. She's trying to teach me a lesson. Teen, we're in a real bind. How would you like to play Henny Penny?
Well, I have enjoyed playing a hen in the past.
Fill us in. Parade, honeymoon, or religious ceremony?
Theater. The St. Olaf Masquer's production of Hamlet.
I don't right off recall a hen in Hamlet.
Trip to Florida. He went there every spring to discuss sales. Oh, look, here he is at Gator World. And here he is touring the Miami suburbs. And here he is in Blanche's bed. And here he is...
Wait, Blanche? Blanche Devereaux?
Yeah, right here in her bed. Didn't work last night, and it's not gonna work tonight.
Ta-da! Come on, put it on.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The stone goes on top, Rose.
Oh, it is beautiful. Why am I still unhappy?
Well, all I know is you would not believe the progress that Stanley is making. As a matter of fact, I was going to invite you to one of his sessions with Dr. Halpern.
The psychiatrist? Please. In the old days, we didn't need psychiatrists. You had a problem, you fought, you drank, you got a...
Your first date ever?
That's right. I've never been with a woman. Well, not in the biblical sense. Whoops, there I go again. You can take the boy out of the seminary.
Let me get this straight.
Start over. Yeah, right. You're starting over because you've lost all of your...
Constraint, my ties. I feel like now I can begin to live again. I can do anything. I can even do what is it you do again, Dorothy?
I'm a substitute teacher.
Oh, no, I'd be a real teacher. Trying to convince myself I was happy. I guess I'm really lonely.
Oh, Gloria. I understand.
Oh, I know you understand, Dorothy. That's why I came to you. I'm miserable with no prospects.
Blanche, I want to be here when the dynamite goes off. I want to ride the rocket with you.
Sophia, I just wonder if maybe Dorothy's right. Could this whole Grammy thing be something I just talked myself into believing, some kind of childhood nonsense?
Dorothy doesn't understand about these things. You know, her father sent her. It'll never happen again.
I really can't believe this, Ma. You, of all people, should know the value of this ring.
Dorothy, please, I was just trying to buy time. I can't give up the ring until I know the Pope is going to bless Agnes.
It doesn't matter what your reasons are. Ma, this ring is important. It was wrong to take it, and I'm going to see that it gets back first thing tomorrow.
Again, we're sorry for springing this on you. I know it came as quite a shock.
Our hearts go out to both of you, and as soon as Ma and I have talked, we'll get back to you.
So you'll seriously consider this?
Well, of course we will. How could we not? What a pair of...
Interesting thing about the tar business is, well, actually I have to pick two things because it's impossible to pick one. Well, anyway, the two most interesting things about the tar business are the tar itself and the number of shoes you go through. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm probably boring you. Enough about me. Let's talk.
So what do you do for a living? Bill? Bill? Oh, who cares?
May I have your attention, please? We'd like to get started.
Cindy Lou Peoples? You look incredible. Well, thank you. You remember our career...
His funniest home videos.
How could you?
I won! Of course, it was a lot funnier when they added the sound effects. Boink, 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 doing!
No, how can you still be alive? You have to be 200 by now.
No, I died a long time ago. I had my head frozen.
Yeah, but how did you get a body so...
Hey, look who's back! What, you never dropped a knife before? Welcome back, baby! Blanche, would you mind? You're closer to the knife drawer.
One summer when I was a little girl, Henrietta, our pig, gave birth to a litter of 6. And the next day, my father won the annual St. Olaf watermelon seed spitting contest.
Then, unless anyone here has cause for objection, by the power vested in me by God and the state of Florida, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Lucas, you may kiss the bride.